Right, we're here with head coach Glenn Crusoe following today's PFL game against Drake. We will begin with an opening statement from coach and then open it to the floor for questions.
First of all, grateful that you guys are here. Thank you for taking your time. Certainly, congratulations to Drake. It's not an easy task to go into someone's stadium and be able to pull out a win, certainly versus two good teams, and we want to be in those situations. Wildly disappointed today with not just the outcome, but also just points of what we gave away throughout the game. I thought our defense played strong and admirably. I really do. That's not a simple offense to defend, and quarterback being 20 of 26 probably speaks to that pretty clearly. But I thought we were able to do enough to get our feet underneath us. And between some mishaps on special teams, there was more than one of them, and the offense's inability to be able to, even not talking about scoring, just switch the field position when we needed to switch the field position to keep us out of where we're on short fields on defense, is something that needs to be corrected. I'm just looking down at some of the numbers right now. But it's difficult, certainly, when a team comes in here and has 205 yards of offense and leaves with a win, and those are things that are going to have to be addressed. Grateful for the crowd on a less than ideal day, and having a strong and proud crowd out there for homecoming. Grateful that we were able to honor the 2016 team, which is a team that is very near and dear to our heart, championship team, play like champions, and just very discouraged to not have played well today. Questions?
Were you able to determine what happened on the block punt or field goal? Excuse me.
Yep. So they had pressure in two places and enough push up the middle and a guy off the edge. Now, I don't know whether or not the kick was too low. That's what I'll have to be able to look at on film. But I mean, that was those 2 minutes of football were absolutely the most pivotal in the game. Was able to, with the tip ball interception by Denjouet right before half, and then, thank you, and then being able to get a score right there before half, and without even, I thought we played well enough in the first half on defense, not well enough on offense, and to be able to go into halftime 10-10 and then know that you come out of it, and then to go down the field. And certainly I know a lot of people are going to say, Hope ran so well, how did he trip? And what I'll say is he runs so vigorously, and what he's doing right now is admirable. His last month is among the best month I've ever seen a running back, at least in our time here, long time. And when you're expending that much energy, no matter how much things look like you should be able to make that play, or he's just spending too much energy on things that he shouldn't. And then certainly that blocked field goal and their return all the way down. And our defense, we have to run out there on a 20-yard field, I believe, 24-yard field. And that touchdown drive was, that's going to happen if you put a team on a 20-yard field, much like it did for us right before halftime after the interception.
Coach, this is the second week in a row that you've expressed disappointment in special teams. You said they just weren't a winning edge last week. There's something that you're going to have to, address head on in this upcoming week of practice.
Oh yeah, and it's been addressed, and you know us well enough to know it's head on, but it's not getting done, and that's our responsibilities as coaches. And not interested in what if or injuries at this point. You have to be able to put guys out there that can do it. Was very disappointed today with the snapping. Not at all what we need to be, and it's not just the ones that are obvious, like the PAT at the end or the punt snap that went over our punter's head. It's the misses on the things that, like on the blocked field goal, that just throws timings off. So that was discouraging as well. And then, certainly I love and appreciate our players' thoughtfulness and belief to continue to fight all the way to the end. That is an honor and a privilege to have that as part of the culture. And unfortunately, we had to use timeouts on defense to be able to have enough time as they were milking the clock. Nice job by them. And we knew that it was going to come down, if given a score, whether that last score be a field goal or a touchdown, that it was going to come down to that onside kick. And we had a great look at it and couldn't finish on it. I mean, those things are definitely discouraging.
When did losing Robinson early on affect?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the beginning of that.
Did losing Robinson to the injury early on, did that affect your blocking schemes or play calling at all?
I'll have to talk to the coaches and find out if it changed the play calls necessarily. I don't know that too much. I do know it puts a lot of stress then on the rest of the protections and on what you can call. Although I thought Caleb Rector came in and played not just admirably, but I think he played well. And although I don't know if Caleb's going to need to continue to play for us, I don't have those answers yet. Very happy with him being able to come into the game. I mean, that's not an easy defense to go against. And you've covered us long enough, Pat, to know that the center runs more than just his position, right? So he does so much. And guys like Seth Hopkins and Langston are difficult to just plug a guy in with all those reps into him. And I thought Caleb did well. But certainly it's tough to lose a 4-year starter, for sure.
You talked before the game earlier in the week about this game being important for a lot of different reasons.
Yep.
Your team was focused on trying to amend what happened last year. How do you feel like reacted to that?
Not well enough, Dean.
Yeah.
Not well enough. You're right, this was a very important game, not necessarily because of simply the fact that they won last year. And I think there's a lot of people that want to jump on the bandwagon of, is this a rival game? And you know us well enough to know we're trying to be better than we were. And that's what our focus is. But in addition to it, it certainly was a what we call a legacy game from the point of view of, this is homecoming. And I believe that's our first homecoming loss in the last 15, 17 years. And we had a lot of guys that have come through that locker room that have sweat and fought and bled just like our guys. And when you have moments like that, you simply, as a coach or a player, as a competitor who honors what's come before him, you just want to play well. Whether the score on the scoreboard is in your favor or not, you want to play well, because for a lot of our alums, that might be the only time that they get to see us in person. And I don't think we lived up to that today.
Coach, you strongly believe in the privilege of pressure. You mentioned it multiple times this season. And that your team, St. Thomas team, are always going to get the best out of the opponents. How do you think your players are reacting to getting the best out of everybody that they play?
Well, I could say very simply, not well enough. It doesn't measure up to the standards that we have. So I'll put that out there. I will also say that we're grateful that we do have that privilege of pressure, because you have to earn that. That doesn't just get given to you, doesn't get bestowed on you. That's earned slowly over a long period of time. And when you see the players so visibly upset after a game like this, that's part of the reason why, is not so much what the scoreboard said, but that we didn't play well when we had a chance to be able to give back and honor those who came before us with how we played. We've sat in this room many times, and you guys have asked questions about the yards and the scores and the touchdowns in games that we've won, and I've returned back to, I want us to play well so we can honor those who came before us. And today that was not the case. What other questions you guys have? No? Again, grateful that you guys took the time, grateful for the crowd that came out and homecoming to be able to celebrate it. And now we get a chance to go to our Hall of Fame dinner tonight and celebrate 4 people and an entire team that we're all pretty proud of as an athletic department and as a university. So looking forward to that. Thanks so much.
All right, we are joined this afternoon by junior wide receiver Colin Chase and junior defensive back Dan Jouette. We open it to the floor for questions.
what's the mood in the locker room like right now?
Tough loss. So we aren't necessarily happy, but just get better, get ready for next week. That's all we can do.
It looked like it got kind of chippy early in the game. I don't know if either of you were anywhere near it, but do you kind of know what was going on some sidelines or in between plays?
Just two competitive teams, you know, just two competitive teams going at each other. That's all it was. Nothing more, nothing less.
You become one of TAC's kind of favorite targets over the past couple weeks. What's it been like, this season, building that relationship with him, especially with some of the other receivers out?
Yeah, Coach Coral's just been doing a great job scheming up and putting me in positions to win. So, it makes it easy, that connection right there, if he's putting me in winning positions. So, been doing good, working our chemistry in practice, and yeah.
Colin, what was the approach you guys took to this game in terms of trying to avenge what happened last year and the importance of this game? How did you guys come into it?
Yeah, well, we knew two highly competitive teams, every little thing matters. And today we didn't win inside the margins, but, our goal was to give our best players, get the football, and execute on both sides of the ball.
And first conference loss at home for you guys in the Division I year. Does that kind of add to the pain of the whole thing?
Not necessarily, I wouldn't say that, no. I just think we just kind of knew how big this game was and how big of a legacy game it was for us. We don't really want to think about, how many losses we have in the D1 era, what we could have, done. So, we just got to get better for next week, and that's what we're going to do.
Any other questions?
Colin, the touchdown catch near the end as you guys are in the normal offense, what did you see as you were lining up, and did you run the pattern as it was supposed to be run?
Yeah, I saw it was man coverage, so there was a high percentage that the ball was probably going to be thrown to me. And I saw they were kind of bracketing Jacob Wildermuth in the slot, so I figured the ball was probably coming my way. And we know in those big situations, you got to make big-time plays.
Any other questions?
Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.